I say, my beloveds, this your girl Empress Goddess, the Georgia Peach with the sweet meat. Once again, I'm on it like popcorn. That's right, my loves. Capricorn is better than popcorn. That's right, ain't no corn like a Capricorn. All right, my loves, this is part two of Spirit Guides and Clairvoyance. Part two of Spirit Guides and Clairvoyance by Mara Silva, an essential guide to connecting. Trying to get y'all the so I can read y'all this here. Unlock the secrets to connecting with your guardian angels, archangels, spirit animals, departed loved ones, and more. Clairvoyance, the ultimate psychic development guide to extrasensory perception and intuition. I shake my loves. Let's get it.
Suffering from spiritual wounds and need help from designated healing spirit. Chapter 8. What happens when the human soul enters the spiritual world? Well, first, you must consider how the spiritual world and the natural world coexist. The natural world is where you spend your human life. It consists of everything you see around you: the grass, the sky, the birds and the bees, and your home. The environment is changing with the seasons, and you can feel the sunshine on your face. In the natural world, you are subject to physical and mental harm, both from others and yourself. You experience emotional shifts and moments of deep joy, accompanied by moments of sadness. You celebrate the birth of new beings, and you grieve when your loved ones die. But what happens when you die? Is it the end of your being, or is there another stage to your existence? Sometimes, the hardest part of losing a loved one is a feeling that you will never see them again. However, what if you could change all that? What if you could say goodbye to someone and know it is just a temporary parting? The spiritual world is filled with people who have passed over. They have bodies and homes and are surrounded by landscapes that resemble Earth. They have communities where they form relationships with kindred spirits, and they can also communicate with the natural world when required. The difference is that the spiritual world is more vibrant. It is a much more positive environment where thoughts become a reality and time is irrelevant. There is no stress, just love and peace. The way you live on Earth determines the place you reside in the spiritual world. What are these facts based on? The spirits. They describe a utopian existence that is waiting for everyone following the transition from the living world. Spiritualists who have connected with their loved ones during readings or meditation describe a place filled with sunlight and warm air that positively glows with love. So, if death is not the final stage of life, it makes it easier to say goodbye to loved ones when they die. Understanding what the process of transitioning involves can also help you prepare for your death. The biggest fear in life is the unknown. If you have the information directly from the spirits themselves, well, then you know what to expect. If you plan to contact your departed loved ones during your spiritual awakening, you can ask them about this process and their experiences. Step 1. Their ancestors join them. Nobody dies alone. The angels and members of their families from the spiritual world join them. When someone is in the process of dying, they have the opportunity to ask for assistance from people on the other side. It is common for a spouse to be there for their partner, along with their parents. When someone is dying, it is common for them to stretch out their arms as if to embrace people. This is because they can see the people they love welcoming them to the spiritual realm. Dying people will often say the names of their loved ones as they take their final breaths. Step number 2. Spirits can leave the body when the time is right. When someone dies during a traumatic experience, the spirit can leave the body even before the physical body is gone. This is because the spirit world is aware that the soul needs respite before the physical body is released during times of suffering. When the loved ones are present during the time of suffering, the spirit can leave the body and join the people who are witnessing the event. Step 3. The resting space. The process of dying. Chapter 8. What happens when the human soul enters the spiritual world?
I've got my dinner
Well, first,
on.
you must consider how the spiritual world and the natural world coexist. The natural world is where you spend your human life. It consists of everything you see around you: the grass, the sky, the birds and the bees, and your home. The environment is changing with the seasons, and you can feel the sunshine on your face. In the natural world, you are subject to physical and mental harm, both from others and yourself. You experience emotional shifts and moments of deep joy, accompanied by moments of sadness. You celebrate the birth of new beings, and you grieve when your loved ones die. But what happens when you die? Is it the end of your being, or is there another stage to your existence? Sometimes, the hardest part of losing a loved one is a feeling that you will never see them again. However, what if you could change all that? What if you could say goodbye to someone and know it is just a temporary parting? The spiritual world is filled with people who have passed over. They have bodies and homes and are surrounded by landscapes that resemble Earth. They have communities where they form relationships with kindred spirits, and they can also communicate with the natural world when required. The difference is that the spiritual world is more vibrant. It is a much more positive environment where thoughts become a reality and time is irrelevant. There is no stress, just love and peace. The way you live on Earth determines the place you reside in the spiritual world. What are these facts based on? The spirits. They describe a utopian existence that is waiting for everyone following the transition from the living world. Spiritualists who have connected with their loved ones during readings or meditation describe a place filled with sunlight and warm air that positively glows with love.
I told you I'm dealing with this narcissist, I move in silence. But I'm gonna tell you, this is how you know you're doing the Lord's work. I was streaming last night. I streamed for about 4 hours, and he was studying coming back and forth, giving that evil eye, hustling and everything, which I don't care, because I'm gonna do what I want to do anyway. Because once I started standing my ground and I took my power back, that's when we started bumping heads. And I told him he leave. And he stopped me the whole time we gone. That's why I move the way I move. See, I move accordingly to how you move, see. So last night, soon as I stopped streaming, because I use my my laptop to do most of my streaming. The darn phone went out. I had to go to Walmart and buy me a phone 10 o'clock last night. I said, boy, I tell you, that's how I try to tell people. See, people just think something. If somebody thinks something evil towards you, they send that old negative energy towards you, trying to create chaos and all that. But that shit ain't gonna work because I'm too blessed and highly favored up to you. It ain't. That's how I said to myself. I said when I'm going to Walmart, I said, now I know I'm on the right path now. Because it seems like something always try to stop you, or something always try to get in your way. But it ain't gonna work.
So, if death is not the final stage of life, it makes it easier to say goodbye to loved ones when they die. Understanding what the process of transitioning involves can also help you prepare for your death. The biggest fear in life is the unknown. If you have the information directly from the spirits themselves, well, then you know what to expect. If you plan to contact your departed loved ones during your spiritual awakening, you can ask them about this process and their experiences. Step 1. Their ancestors join them. Nobody dies alone. The angels and members of their families from the spiritual world join them. When someone is in the process of dying, they have the opportunity to ask for assistance from people on the other side. It is common for a spouse to be there for their partner, along with their parents. When someone is dying, it is common for them to stretch out their arms as if to embrace people. This is because they can see the people they love welcoming them to the spiritual realm. Dying people will often say the names of their loved ones as they take their final breaths. Step number 2. Spirits can leave the body when the time is right. When someone dies during a traumatic experience, the spirit can leave the body even before the physical body is gone. This is because the spirit world is aware that the soul needs respite before the physical body is released during times of suffering. When the loved ones are present during the time of suffering, the spirit can leave the body and join the people who are witnessing the event. Step 3. The resting space. The process of dying can be traumatic and exhausting. Spirits need to rest and recuperate before they go forward into the spiritual realm. Some souls will be suffering from spiritual wounds and need help from designated healing spirits to become whole again. Some people have described this space as the holding spot, where spirits are stuck between death and the spirit zone. Now, this is not strictly true. Spirits need to be whole before they are ready to join their fellow dwellers in the spiritual realm, and this is a place they prepare themselves. They're not stuck or troubled, they're merely resting. Step number 4, the life review. This is another misunderstood part of the process. Some people describe this stage as the period of judgment that decides where the soul will go. This makes the process sound much more censorious than it is. The life review is when the spirit takes time to reflect on their time on earth. This process can take weeks, months, or even years to complete, depending on the individual. This is a process that is essential to help the spirit transcend and enter the spiritual realm. They will be joined by angels and spirit guides to assist them with the review, who will help, not judge. Imagine a small movie theater with 10 seats and a large screen. Here, the spirit is encouraged to say what they really think about how they live their life. Were they able to lead an open and true existence in their earthly body, or did other people influence them? Now, they are shown the positive impacts that they had on people. From birth right through to the moment of their death, they will be shown multiple perspectives of the same events. First, they will see things through their own eyes and witness others' reactions as they perceive things. Next, they will see the event from the perception of others. People often impact others' lives without knowing it, and these occasions are reflected in the life review. If the spirit has done a random act of kindness, the angels will show them the people it affected. This is a ripple effect, and everyone has caused them, but they rarely see the effects in the natural world. They will then be allowed to review events and times when they did not behave as kindly as they could have. It is important to reiterate that this is not a time of judgment. It's a time for reflection. Sometimes you fail to understand how much a throwaway phrase or an action can cause hurt to others. During this review process, the transcending spirit will already be in contact with the community they will be joining after they finish the review. This community will be chosen for them by higher beings dependent on their character. Kindred spirits will be placed in communities to create harmony and a lack of friction. During the review process, the spirit can consult with angels, spirit guides, relatives, and their new communities to get a wider perspective about their lives. They are placed in the community that suits them, depending on their life choices. Nobody is judged, and all religions are treated equally. The life review process also explains why spirits often take months or years before contacting their loved ones on Earth. Surely, the time they are needed most is directly after their passing. The spirit world understands that humans need to heal before they communicate with their loved ones' spirits. They need to have a measure of control and emotional strength to make sure the meeting is not too emotionally charged. Once a life review process has been completed, the spirit is better equipped to answer any questions their loved ones can ask. They have a deeper perception of how they lived their lives and the impact they had on others. Their wisdom will help them have honest conversations with their human families and explain their former actions. Step 5. Transcending into the spirit form. Following the life review, the spirit is now ready to enter the spirit world and decide their role. They are free to explore the different levels of the realm and decide what role suits them best. Some will choose to become spirit guides and make themselves available to human beings seeking their help. Others will choose to become healing spirits and begin to learn from the health deities and angels who are already masters at their work. Spirits who were involved in medicine and the helping professions will sometimes carry on their role in the afterlife. Some spirits will dedicate themselves to becoming guides to the family they left behind. They will start to make their presence known by visiting them in their dreams or appearing in animal form. Some people report that different levels of the spiritual world are accessible by progressing through stages of enlightenment and learning. What is definite is that there is room for every soul in the spiritual world. The souls that had a more troubled time on earth and made decisions that others wouldn't have still have a role to play. They can choose to become guides to those on earth who are currently facing the same decisions they faced. If they can relate to people who are finding life difficult, they can give appropriate advice. If criminals and less savory individuals can receive guidance from people who have made mistakes, they are more likely to follow their advice. Step 6. Consider reincarnation. Everyone seeks to become the best version of themselves. However, this cannot be achieved in just one lifetime. Most people have lived multiple lives and must be ready to live many more. All souls want to reach their full capacity to love, help, and receive the full wonders of the universe. This means that spirits are always preparing to return to Earth in another form. The facts about reincarnation. The facts following are gathered from people who have experienced multiple past lives and have told how reincarnation works. Reincarnation is both natural and universal. You can't opt out because it is how humankind evolves and progresses. The only souls who complete the process and become permanent members of the spiritual world are transcended masters, angels, and deities. The actions and decisions you make in a former life don't impact your future lives. Your religion, geographical location, and gender can change. Some people are reincarnated within their former family, depending on the timing. Some family members will be reborn as babies within their immediate family. Despite popular belief, most past life regressions are reflective of the lives of ordinary people. They could be as long ago as Roman times, or as recent as a decade ago. Not everyone was Julius Caesar or an Egyptian pharaoh in a former life. Everyone is accompanied by a group of souls who have a special affinity for each other. These are known as soulmates. They are individuals who will always be there to assist you and give you a grounded feeling. Everyone has lived lives as both genders. If you lived a life as a man and then were reincarnated as a woman, this can account for a degree of gender dysphoria and a feeling of not belonging in the body that you occupy. Traumatic events in a former life will account for some form of distress in current lives. They can leave an impression on the soul that affects their lives for multiple lifetimes. Some people have reported suffering a physical trauma in a past life that has left a physical mark in their present life. Birthmarks, moles, and blemishes present in birth can be attributed to past traumas and can fade as they get older. Many diseases, phobias, and life skills are reported to have accompanied a soul through their various lifetimes. There is no fixed period between one incarnation and another. Nobody seems to understand who decides a time frame, and some people believe it could be a personal choice. Suicide is not punishable in the spirit world. Those who are much wiser than others recognize that it is a decision that everyone can make if they feel the need. It is not regarded as a lack of respect for life. It is merely a chance to start again. Nobody commits suicide without a great deal of thought, and the spirits realize that it should not impact the afterlife. It is believed that before every reincarnation, there is an extensive planning session. Higher level guides will assist the spirit in choosing the path it wants to take in the next life. They will be joined by the soulmates they will connect with, and a plan is formed. If they choose to be born into a life that needs certain skills, their guides will give them instructions to follow. They will then plan specific symbols or actions that will trigger the knowledge they require to become available and overcome obstacles. During the birthing process of their next life, the spirit will undergo a veiling process that induces amnesia. This allows them to begin their new life with a clean slate, unhampered by their past lives. They still have the cues that have been implanted into their psyche for when they need them. Children can often have residual knowledge of past lives that will manifest as imaginary companions and friends. This will usually stop before the child reaches the age of 5, and they will often have no recollection of the relationship. Here is a story of reincarnation that supports the idea that children have residual memories of a former life. Ryan Hammonds was a young boy born to Christian parents who lived in Oklahoma. In 2009, he suffered a series of disturbing dreams, which led to him waking up, clutching his chest and crying. He told his parents that his heart had exploded in Hollywood. He insisted he lived in a house on a street with the name Rock in it, and he was big. He told his mom he preferred it when he was big, as he had the freedom to do what he wanted. He described being married 5 times and having 3 sons. He mentioned a good friend called Senator 5. His stories were becoming more lavish as he described meeting Hollywood legends, including Rita Hayworth. He also told his parents about vacations in far-flung places and that he worked in an industry where people would get new names. His parents didn't believe in reincarnation, but were becoming troubled by their son's experiences. His mom obtained a series of books filled with images of Hollywood in the 1930s, and she showed them to her son. He reacted strongly to a picture of screen star George Raft in a publicity photo from 1932. Ryan shouted, "Mom, I worked with him. His name was George, and we did a movie together. That man with a raincoat in the picture is me. That's big for me." The man in the picture was identified as Marty Martin, an actor turned agent who died in 1964 from a heart attack. Ryan's mom listed the details that her son had told her and then contacted a renowned psychiatrist in child psychology to help her understand what had happened. His name was Dr. Tucker, and he managed to contact Marty Martin's daughter. She confirmed that the details Ryan had supplied were accurate and that some of the information was news to her, even though it was true. She stated he had lived on North Roxbury Drive, which did indeed have the word rock in it, and he did have 3 sons. Ryan and his parents agreed to meet up with Marty's daughter and have an informal meeting between all parties. However, once at the meeting, Ryan became standoffish and was not interested in participating or connecting with Marty's daughter or sharing any memories with her. Following the unsuccessful encounter, he told his mother that he thought his daughter's energy was off and quickly lost interest in the whole subject. Ryan quickly became a normal little boy whose only memories were from the present. The psychiatrist's explanation suggested that once Marty's spirit had witnessed that the daughter he had left behind had moved on, he allowed the reincarnated child to gain closure and forget his existence ever happened. If people ask themselves about reincarnation, they must ask how it can be that so many people have such vivid memories of former lives if they never happened. How can people, as a race, explain the way they feel about certain individuals? Everyone at some stage in their life has felt a connection with someone that transcends earthly connections. In the same vein of questioning, how do they explain déjà vu? The weird feeling that they have been in a certain place when they know they haven't. Could it not be feasible that they visited it in a former life? Chapter 9. Signs that the spirits are knocking and how to hear them clearly. Everyone is naturally curious about the spirit world and what happens after death. Even if it is a passing thought, most people have considered if communicating with the spirit world is possible. The spirits know this, and they will know when your curiosity is ready to be satisfied. You may not consciously decide to begin communications, but the spirits know when you are ready. Do not worry if that sounds like they are about to invade your mind and make unwanted contact. They won't. What they will do is show you certain signs that should make you aware of their presence. They don't want to alarm you. They're merely telling you that when the time is right, They're there for you. Understanding these signs can be tricky. Sometimes the spirits are way too subtle for people's earthly senses, and the signs can remain unnoticed as they go about their daily lives. When you understand what type of signs to look for, chances are you will notice them almost immediately. These signs are not sinister. They're meant to soothe your soul and open your senses. If you do not feel comfortable receiving messages from the other side, that's okay. Spirits are always by your side and will continue to watch over you, even if you don't want to make direct contact. Remember that spirits are benevolent creatures that just want the best for people. They're full of love, compassion, and empathy for the humans they have chosen to watch over. Some signs that the spirits are trying to communicate with you. Well, drafts of cold air without an obvious source is one of them. Cold spells and chilly air may feel less than welcoming, but it's not a negative sign. The spirits understand that changing the temperature of your environment will get your attention. If you've ever experienced the sensation described as someone just walked over my grave, a spirit has probably visited you. Humans are warm-blooded entities, and spirits are pure energy. When both are near each other, the spirits lower the temperature by drawing energy from the air. This type of contact can also cause goosebumps. If you've ever experienced your hair standing on edge or goosebumps as you think of somebody who has died, it could be one of them dropping in to say hello. So how to say hello back? If the temperature has dropped and you are rubbing your arms to get warm, say out loud, "Hey there, I know you're there, and that comforts me. I can always wear a sweater to get warm if you want to visit again."
Yeah, I get them chills too sometimes.
Light flickering or bulbs popping.
Yep, all that shit.
Often, flickering lights and blowing out light bulbs in the movies are the signs that malignant energy is around. Well, in the natural world, this simply is not true. The flickering of lights can be a sign that your loved ones are trying to tell you that they are in the room. The energy they bring will affect all electrical appliances, but the bulbs will sometimes overload and pop.
Let me tell you,
say hello?
Hold on a minute.
If a familiar face comes naturally to you, do not dismiss it. Say hello back and replace the light bulb. Tell the spirits that you don't mind replacing light bulbs, but can they keep away?
I'll tell you what happened here one night. It was last year, toward the end of the year. It must have been about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning. And it's a wall socket up there in the hallway by the front door. We never use that socket. I mean, never. All of a sudden, I heard something it was like fireworks, like the 4th of July. Just pop, 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 pop. The damn thing just started exploding for no reason. I said, okay, I know spirit trying to get somebody attention. That actually happened. That tripped me out, boy.
The expensive 50-inch flat screen TV. The spirits enjoy humor just as much as people do. Shadows in the corner of your eyes. Spirits can move in front of you, but if you are not attuned to their energy, they will appear as a subtle shadow. This isn't a direct sighting. It's merely a flicker of a shadow that will appear and then disappear in seconds. Now to say hello? Well, there's not too much you can do to recreate the moment. So a simple nod to the spirit world will suffice. A salute or a head bob will be enough to tell the spirits that you know they're there. Orbs and pictures. With the higher quality of cameras and the availability of cameras on smartphones, more and more people are capturing orbs in their pictures. Because they have a camera available more readily, they can capture images that may have missed in the past. Orbs appear as balls of light and can be randomly placed in a room or attached to individuals. What are these orbs and what do they represent? They are spirits who have joined you and are letting you know they're present. Cameras capture their energy whenever you cannot see them with the naked eye. They will often be captured at important family gatherings, as the spirits help celebrate earthly occasions. Family weddings, baptisms, christenings, funerals, and birthdays will often involve plenty of pictures being taken. The spirits will appear as orbs, just to let you know they are still part of the family and feel the joys and the sorrows that you do. How to say hello? Well, make sure you display your
Hear
pictures
voices.
that contain orbs. Most people do
If I
not take
tell
the
people
time
most
to
of, if I
create
tell
physical
anybody
pictures
else what I'm
anymore,
telling y'all, they'll
and they
put me in
can sit on the
crazy
phone for months. Take the time to get prints and put them into frames. Then the spirits know that you've got their message and you welcome their contact. The phone ringing once. Many people struggle to cope with losing a loved one and feel comfort from keeping their number on the contacts list on their phone. Spirits who want to make sure the recipient knows who is trying to contact them will use technology. They can direct their energy to make a smartphone ring just once and then display their number.
Mm-hmm.
If this happens, it's not meant to freak you out. It's meant as a sign that they miss you and are ready to communicate if you are. This type of communication is designed to tell you specific.
Tell me what y'all think about this. The narcissist here, he had to get another phone, so he changed his phone number. And y'all would not believe what the number was that they gave him. It was my deceased uncle's phone number. Ain't that some shit?
Like, who is trying to get in touch? The spirit might choose this method if you previously spent a lot of time chatting with them on the phone. Maybe they didn't live near you when they were alive, and they miss your voice on the other end of the line. How to say hello?
Yeah, I mean,
well, hold your phone and say hi
you know
when you see their name displayed. Have a conversation with them as if they were on the line.
The odds.
When you react positively to the sight of their name on your device, you are telling them you welcome their contact and you have no fear.
Because when I had to forget the
Vivid
number.
daydreams.
But
spirits love to make contact through your subconscious, and this often involves your dreams.
And it came up,
if they
Uncle
feel
Charles.
the time is right, they will play with your
like,
conscious
wow.
mind to create vivid images designed to get your attention. They want their message to resonate with you for a reason. Maybe they're trying to warn you that you need to be more vigilant, or that someone you love needs you right now. These types of messages are time relevant and should not be ignored.
I'll tell you all kinds of shit be happening.
How to say hello? Have a mental conversation with the source of information. If you have questions about the message they are trying to deliver,
just think about a person
ask them by voicing them in your head. They can then expand on the information using imagery. Random thoughts appear in your head. Have you ever had a thought pop into your head with no explanation at all? Did this thought then become useful later? It could be that the spirits sent you a message, knowing you would need the information to help you solve a problem. These thoughts can also be vocalized, so hearing voices in your head may sound a bit off kilter, but it could be comforting. If you can hear a voice telling you something, listen carefully, because it could be a spirit telling you a message.
You know what I feel? All these people that they say schizophrenic and all that stuff, they be talking to themselves, them people ain't crazy. Them people just spiritually gifted, and they just don't know how to handle. They don't know how to, handle them gifts. They hadn't learned how to master them gifts. That's what it is.
How to say hello? Have a conversation with them. Simple, right? If they choose to vocalize a message they want you to receive, they will be receptive to verbal messages, either in your head or out loud. Make sure you acknowledge them loud and clear. Moving objects around. If you have ever entered a room and felt like somebody had been in it and moved stuff, it could be a spirit trying to communicate. If you have changed the furniture around after a loved one has died, they could come back and put it back right.
They don't believe
certain objects will be associated with different people, and the spirits can use that fact to remind you they are still with you. Opening drawers and moving ornaments are classic signs that the spirit world is trying to contact you. How to say hello? Speak out in a jovial way. Try saying something like, "Hey, you! I know you love that chair and want to see it back in its old place. I will leave it there for you today, but it's going back to where I like it tomorrow. If you need to move it again, I understand. I miss you too, and I love that you are visiting me. Thank you for coming to visit."
Perfect example. Rain Man. If you always notice that a person, they always say a person can be so smart that they crazy.
Feathers. Finding feathers is a classic sign the spirit community is trying to reach you. They are common ways that relatives, spirit guides, and angels use to send a message. The spirits use different colored feathers to convey more detailed messages and to use colors to give their message deeper insight. Colored feathers and what they mean. White feathers, well, these are the simplest form of contact. They can appear in places where birds are present or in a completely bird-free zone. They simply mean that the spirits are there and they are signaling everything is okay. Black feathers. While they may seem like a portentous sign, black feathers are not always negative. They will usually appear when you are having a crisis and times look bleak. Your spirit guides are telling you they know times are difficult and they are doing everything they can to help you. Yellow feathers. This is a positive color to receive. The angels and your spirit guides are telling you that things are doing great. They are sending you a message that congratulates you on doing a great job. Pink feathers. The angels are showing their humorous side and invite you to rejoice with them. They are reminding you that when you laugh, you are never alone. The spirits enjoy the sense of fun you bring to their energy and your joie de vivre. Blue feathers. Blue is the color of serenity and peace. The angels are telling you it's time to take a break and reclaim the calm your life needs. Take their advice and go for a long walk in nature or meditate. Sometimes you need a nudge to step back from your busy schedule and take stock. Red feathers. Red is the color of passion and love. The spirits are showing you the path to true love and giving you a hand to find it. They want everyone to find perfect partners and settle down. After all, love is the most powerful way to connect with other humans.
Yep.
And the angels' guidance is better than any dating apps. Green feathers.
I would say this last thing, and I'm gonna let it play because I'm trying to get my cook my dinner. But damn, I should have said it before I left out of here. Here, let me let it play. Then I'll let it think of it.
Green is a color of health. Think of nature and the significance of the color.
When he said something about nature, that brought it back to me. Thank you, Spirit. I could be outside sometime, and because I go out there and I talk to the trees and to the bushes, stuff like that, and hug the trees and just play with the limbs and the leaves. And it seems like when I go out there, it seems like they start gravitating towards you. You know what I'm saying? It's like they start coming toward me, like they just be waving at me and shit. I shake my head, I look again, and it don't be no wind or nothing blowing. It's just like they just start coming toward me, like they gravitate toward me, like, and then the wind will blow all of a sudden.
You will begin to understand what the spirits are telling you.
Thank you, love.
I think you should be paying more attention to your health and looking after number one. After all, most people neglect their health at some point. Maybe you're too busy looking after someone else. A green feather means you should slow down, take stock, and maybe have a checkup. Gray feathers. You going live today? Your team of spirits is constantly working on your behalf. They know the issues in your life that are causing you problems, and they are working to solve them. If they feel you may be losing patience with them, they will send you a gray feather. This means you should be patient and wait for guidance from them. Orange feathers. This color of a feather is a sign that you should work on your sex life. They are also a symbol of creativity, positivity, and the importance of physical connections with your partner. If you receive an orange feather, it could be your spirit guides telling you to reconnect with your partner in the bedroom. Purple. The angels and spirits understand the importance of recognizing when to acknowledge spiritual growth. If they feel you are recognizing your personal truth.
This here, I'm gonna let this go about another 20 minutes because we have four. This is like part 2 of this book. We have 4 hours left, 4 hours and 5 minutes. I'll let another 20 minutes go on this. That'll be an hour. And what I do is I come back probably tomorrow or later on and do another hour until we get it finished.
becoming attuned to your personal spiritual growth. They'll reward you with the gift of a purple feather.
All right.
And brown. This feather is a message that you are becoming more grounded. Brown is the color of the earth and is a peaceful reminder to connect with your roots. Feather color combinations. A black and white. The contrasting colors indicate an inner conflict. The spirits are recognizing your struggles and are sending you a clear message to stay strong. Conflicts will settle and your life will become calmer soon. Black and purple. Your spirituality is off the scale. The inner strength and spirituality you are experiencing are immense. Well done, you. Black, white, and blue. Change is a-coming, and the spirits are there to help you. Everyone experiences transitional phases in their lives, and when you do, the guides are there for you. Brown and black. The angels and spirits are indicating you have achieved a balance in life that is perfect. You have one foot in the physical world and the other in the realm of the spirits. Brown and white. Well, this combination is a happy one. You are fully protected from harm, and your well-being is assured. Red and green. While this combination is usually a wardrobe disaster, in the feathered world it's quite the opposite. If you receive these colored feathers, you are blessed with good luck. Financial and spiritual prosperity is on its way. Gray and white. These feathers signify uncertainty. The angels and spirits feel you need to make decisions about your future. Ask them for guidance and signs to make the changes you need. So how to say hello for the feathers? Well, keep the feathers you are given and use them to decorate your home. Feathers are naturally beautiful and they make great decorations. You're telling the spirits that you appreciate their gifts of nature and you are proud to share them with others. Another sign, you hear songs that remind you of a loved one. Most people acknowledge the importance of music in their life. It can be one of the most powerful triggers to invoke memories of people, times, and places from the past. Most couples have a song that reminds them of the relationship, and the spirits are no different. They know that hearing a certain song will mean you are filled with memories of them, so they will make sure you can hear it when they are near. How to say hello? Well, when you get home, make sure you play the songs you have heard. Say aloud how much you enjoy them, and reminisce about the events they remind you of. Music can fill the soul with joy, and it should be played whenever possible. Smell aromas that take you back in time. So what do you remember about Grandma's house? The smell of a freshly baked apple pie combined with pipe smoke could be the way your grandparents appear to you in the spirit form. Aftershave and perfume smells can transport you instantly back to the first time you met your true love. Smells are particularly evocative when you remember someone who has died. The spirits will use them to remind you of happier times, the fact that they are still with you. How to say hello? Acknowledge what you smell and the specific memories that you have. If it is your grandparents, say their names. Welcome them into your heart and tell them how much you miss them. You hear your name in random places. Have you ever been in a crowded place and heard your name being called? Maybe you were in a remote spot with no one else around, yet you heard someone call you. This is a sure sign that the spirits are nearby. They use natural phenomena to replicate your name, and so you will hear it floating on the wind. They can turn the sound of a babbling brook or the call of a bird into your name. How to say hello? Always react to the sound of your name. Turn around and smile before you carry on with your journey. Raise a hand and say hello. It's really as simple as that. The spirits have singled you out for a personal message, and you should thank them. So say something like, "Hey, I hear you, and I love your energy. Thank you for connecting with me. I appreciate it." You see the same animal all the time. Do you find that no matter what the weather is or the time of year, you see butterflies wherever you go? If you go to work every morning and see cats wherever you look, it could be a message from the spirits. They love to work with the animal world and then reach out to you via the natural world. If you feel an affinity for certain animals, it could be a spiritual connection. How to say hello? Show your love for the spirits by keeping images of your favorite animal close by. If you love elephants, choose a coffee cup with an image of them on it. You can buy bedding, curtains, decorations, and all sorts of knickknacks with animal imagery on them. Filling your home with these images will help you form a stronger connection with the spirit world. You are telling them that you appreciate the effort they have made to connect with you. Chapter 10. Stay safe while communicating. Communicating with spirits can be an uplifting experience, but it also has dangerous aspects. Because you are entering a different energy field, it is important to protect your body and soul from danger. If you fail to take protective measures, different forms of negative energy can damage you. You need to protect yourself from negative entities, psychic attacks, and destructive energy forces. Almost every negative condition can be traced to another human being. People who radiate negative energy will affect you if you lack protection. You must understand the dangers and how they can impact you. When you enter the spiritual world, you face the same dangers from the physical world. The difference is that the attacks are spiritual rather than physical, but the effects are just as devastating. Before you consider the physical ways to protect yourself, it is important to consider the basics. You are the center of attraction when you enter the spiritual zone, and you must be in the best emotional shape possible. If you enter the spiritual realm with low vibration, you'll attract negative energy. This means you could be subject to attacks from sources of evil that wish you harm. Finding and strengthening your spirit is the only way to be 100% safe. You will find ways to raise your vibrations and strengthen your spirit in another chapter. There, you're going to learn about the various methods of developing your inner strength and becoming a positive spiritual being. How to remove evil and negative energy. Mantras. These are spiritual words or phrases that can be used to clear negative energy from your mind and your environment. If you have encountered a particularly negative person who has lowered your vibration, you can use a mantra to clear your energy. Similarly, if your home has been affected by negative energy, you can clear it with a positive chant. Energy is a driving force of life, and it is composed of both negative and positive forces. These can be affected by psychic attacks from negative forces, but your inner demons can also affect your levels. Before turning to mantras to boost your life force, it's important to understand why you are experiencing negativity. Here's some sources that are affecting your energy. Past actions that you haven't forgiven yourself for. Disbelief in the whole process. Curses from your enemies. Negative relationships at home or in the workplace. Negative emotions you feel about others. And negative emotions other people feel about you. Mantras can be used to stop these forces from affecting your positive energy by translating your inner thoughts into words. You can use mantras from Hindu or Buddhist texts, but the most effective mantras are from the heart. For instance, if you feel like your negative feelings for someone else trap you, try creating a mantra to free your mind. Like, I am trapped by my negative energy regarding my relationship with whoever it is, and I am freeing myself from it. Or try saying, my energy is blocked by the hatred I feel for this person, and I now dismiss it from my life. You are naming your emotions and putting your thoughts into words. The next stage is to create a name for your emotional states. For instance, if you're worried about something, you will become the worried person. Or if you are creatively blocked, you will become the captive creative one. Now it's time to change the mindset you are in and release the negative energy. Say out loud, I release the worried person, and becoming the assured one and the captive creative one will become the creatively free person. To sum it all up, when you are creating a personal mantra, you need to follow these stages. Recognize your mindset and how it is holding you back. Give it a formal name. Say you are leaving that mindset behind and entering a new level of energy. and thank the energy for allowing you to become more positive. Of course, there are some daily mantras you can use that are less specific. Try these examples of daily chants to raise your energy levels and fill you with positive emotions. I am linked to the universe by my energy. We share the same joys, and I rejoice in this fact. I embrace the life force of the earth and the spiritual realms. Today, I will create energy that will benefit the world. My life force is strong, and I am filled with joy and love. White light protection. Imagine a physical barrier that is formed around you that repels everything that is thrown at you. Having that kind of protection makes you feel like nothing can touch you. Now, imagine how that would feel when you enter the spirit world with that sort of protection. All your fears and concerns will be left behind, and you can feel safe with your spiritual forces. The white light protection technique allows this to happen. It creates a psychic barrier that will repel negative energy and keep you safe. Here is how to create your white light protection. Sit in a peaceful place and relax. Imagine an egg-shaped white sphere filled with light that encompasses your whole being. Imagine the negativity hitting the outer layer of light and reflecting away from you. Carry this shield with you wherever you go. This technique is just as effective for your pets, loved ones, and home. Smudging. Native Americans are thought to have been the first cultural group to use smudging to cleanse their spirits in their homes. It is also known as Lakota and Kahula. Many other cultures around the globe have used this spiritual ritual for generations. So what are the benefits of smudging? There's antibacterial properties. While people use the ritual to clear their auras and purify the area they meditate in, there are also practical benefits to smudging. When you use sage or white sage to purify the air, they release antimicrobial properties. These can keep harmful bacteria at bay and also repel insects. The antibacterial properties help you maintain a serene area free from infection. Sage also releases negative ions, which helps you clear common allergens like pet dander, dust, and mold. If you have a respiratory condition, you will find the air cleaner and less likely to aggravate your condition. It helps the quality of your sleep. The compounds in traditional sage plants help soothe anxiety and depression. It also calms you and improves your sleep. It smells great. If you prefer natural incense to help you relax, you should burn sage. The aroma is pure, simple, and will help your room smell fantastic. The most important aspect of smudging is to purify your space. This helps you repel negative energy and make sure the positive forces can reach you. There are different herbs for corresponding purposes. Here's a list of some useful herbs used for smudging. Angelica. It promotes self-discovery and strengthens self-resolve. Elder. Protects the area and promotes self-awareness. Lavender. It cleanses, protects, and brings a calm atmosphere. Mugwort. Protects and helps the practitioner remember their dreams. St. John's wort. Increases courage, protection, and confidence. And thyme. Protects and strengthens the immune system. So how to smudge? Well, you need some basic tools. A bundle of your chosen herbs, a pot made of natural materials to hold the burning bundle and capture the ashes,
I don't know why
some
these
matches,
trolls be
and a
trolling
fan
me
made
so
of
bad in
natural
my
materials to
comments.
waft the smoke. Now prepare your room for smudging. Remove animals and people who are not participating in the ritual, and then open the windows. This allows the smoke to capture the negative energy and then escape. Light the bundle until it is smoking. Extinguish any flames immediately. Direct the smoke around your body and your head until you feel cleansed. Now you can use a feather or your fan to direct the smoke to any areas of your body you think need attention. Collect any ash in your natural pot. Now cleanse your room by smudging the objects in it. This can be done by directing the smoke over each object individually, or you can leave the smoking bundle in a fireproof container and just let the smoke take its natural path. Once the ritual is completed, extinguish your bundle by placing the lid end in some sand or the ash that you have collected. Once it's out, put the remaining bundle away for use in the future. Safety tips. Sage can burn quite fiercely. So have some water handy just in case, and never leave it unattended, and be aware that it can set off fire alarms and smoke detectors. Small amounts of smoke are okay, but try not to inhale too much, or you could experience adverse reactions. Treat the ritual respectfully, and you will feel the effects for days after. Sea salt as protection. The natural source of sea salt is, of course, the ocean. These mighty bodies of water have long been regarded as some of the most beautiful natural phenomena on Earth. They are major sources of energy, and the salt they produce has been used for cleansing since the beginning of time. Nearly every culture across the globe uses salt to perform cleansing rituals. From the Catholic Church to ancient Indian religions, salt is part of their holy rituals and ceremonies. The Indians and other cultures applied salt directly to open wounds to remove bad spirits and negative energy.
Yep.
Salt is a powerful tool and must be used carefully. It has the power to remove psychic energies, but it cannot distinguish between good and bad energy. This is why it is used to clear a room of energy before rituals and ceremonies to allow the practitioner a clean slate to work with. Traditionally, it has also been used to protect innocents from unwanted psychic attacks. Barriers of salt were often placed around children's beds to protect them as they slept. Salt water is also used to wash magical objects before they are used. If you want to protect your area before a ritual, you can perform a swift process to give you some level of safety. Light a small fire in a suitable container and throw a handful of sea salt into the flames. You will witness a flash of color, and your immediate area will feel lighter and more spiritual. If you require a deeper cleanse and have the time to perform the rite, the following magical ritual will give you a deeper spiritual cleanse. First of all, select a bowl or a pot made from natural materials, which is a thing of beauty. Size is not as important as energy absorption is not related to volume. Number 2, fill the container with salt. Cooking salt will work, but sea salt is much better. Number 3, place it in the hearth of the home. This can be the kitchen, the room in which you perform rituals, or your bedroom. You know where the hearth and the heart of your home is.
You know,
Number
you
4,
popping in here
leave
now
the
that
salt
I'm finna
untouched for 3 days and nights.
stream.
Number 5, on the morning
How
of the
you doing
4th day,
today?
take your bowl of salt and release it into nature. This can be as majestic as a free-flowing river or as mundane as a garden hoe. Doesn't matter where it goes,
You
as long as
okay?
it goes.
I don't know why everybody
As
not
you
getting
disperse your salt, tell it your
my
worries.
notifications.
What are your deep-seated negative issues and problems? As the salt disappears, so will your issues. Number 6, replace the salt and place it in the hearth. And number 7, empty the receptacle every week, and your home will feel the psychic benefits.
I'm gonna stop it right there for now because we're right at an hour. And I'll come back later on. If I don't come back later on to do an hour, I definitely will be back tomorrow in the morning and I'll do another hour till I finish up the book. I hope y'all enjoyed the content. If y'all did, y'all know what to do. Hit that big thumbs up button. You know, share, subscribe, drop a comment in the box below after the stream. You see, YouTube ain't trying to push me out there because I be speaking too much truth over here. When you speak that truth, YouTube be trying to blackball you, you know. Yeah, they do. I already done got hip to them already. All right, my babies. As above, so below. This is your girl, Empress Goddess, the Georgia Peach with the sweet meat. Always go within, so you never go without, my babies.